That's what you're more open meeting.
So I was looking, I thought, oh, everybody did it.
Yeah, I'm stuck in your shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Here. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna start running back.
It's kind of time gone, and she. Shall we stand for prayer and pledge, please? All right. Praise God, our Heavenly Father, we just thank you, Lord, for this day, and we thank you for your many, many blessings. Again, Lord, we ask you to be with our first responders. Just put your hand over them, protect them, Lord, because we're living in a crazy world today, Lord, and just protect them. We ask you to be with our employees at the courthouse, Lord. We lift them up to you. We ask for protection over them and guidance. Now, Lord, give us the knowledge and wisdom to make the best decisions for our county, Lord, that we can go forth. And we'll thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. All three commissioners are here, Lauren, Candace. And do you got anything else for the agenda?
Three added correspondence, that's sure. The last three correspondence, the Landmark Commission minutes, the Men's Health Network, and the Sheriff, Deputy Booth.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay. Then it's been approved. Okay, it's, sorry, ladies, gentlemen, we're a couple minutes behind there, but we wanted to meet for elected officials this evening. I know, and I'm gonna start this out, and you can ask the questions, and the others can say what you want, comment about it, but you know, we had a pretty rough time with the budget. We had to cut a good bit. So we're kind of at a standstill. We put a hiring freeze on. We're kind of at a standstill with things, and I think we're good with the budget now, don't we?
As long as we have the carryover we
As
need.
long as we have the carryover that we need, you heard it. So we're asking you if there's any way possible that you could not spend so much money. If you don't, I'll put it this way, if you don't need it, not want it. If you don't need it, please don't buy it. I'm listening.
I don't ask for much to begin with.
I know none of you do. And I'll tell you what I hated. I wanted to give everybody a raise. I wanted to do that. And we're not saying no, we're just saying no now. Because down the road, when everything comes together, I'd still like to consider it for the, that's my thoughts. I'm not speaking for the other two, I'm speaking for myself.
I agree with that. We'll get the carryover and see where we're at, and we'll definitely look into a raise and putting some things back that we took out. We did take out some travel, some other little things that where we looked at over the past several years. It hasn't been spent so much that we kind of cut back on some things. Excuse me, I got something in my throat today. But one thing too is our custodial staff. We elected not to hire custodial right now, with the intent that we are asking each office to possibly work on cleaning your own room as far as just dusting and that kind of thing. The bathrooms and the hallways, I think our current custodial can take care of it. But if we can, if you all can help out with that, that would take some weight off of our one custodian that we do have.
Which we do. I mean, Dawn and some of the others in the office run the vacuum.
Okay.
keep up with the bathrooms, so we have been doing that already.
Chris, is that something your office can take care of too?
Yeah, we have a vacuum cleaner in the office that we use. We're always tidying, well, the girls, they tidy up all the time.
And we're, you know, whenever he decides to take off or if he's on vacation and stuff, we'll have to work out something there. But as far as making sure the bathrooms and stuff are clean, so. And I honestly, I'll just throw this out there right now. I'll be willing to jump in a day or two and cover for him to try to clean the bathrooms. I'm not a real great cleaner and that's not what I wanna do, but I wanna emphasize how things are right now until we know what the carryover is gonna be. But I'm willing to jump in there and help out where we can, so. If there's anything else, you know, that we can do, we'll try to.
Candace is working on the schedule.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is, cause I know that some things are being missed right now, because I know our previous custodian was keeping up with a lot of stuff, especially courthouse area. So, I think myself and Tammy and maybe Cody, because Cody knows the buildings better, we're gonna do a walkthrough and document each office and make sure that, like for trash pickup and things like that, so that when we meet with, when we meet with our sanitation person and with our maintenance, cause we plan to try to divvy it out with them as well. We can walk through and make sure each office is being visited. I know we have some work orders open as well for some maintenance things, painting, tiling, things like that, so we're trying to divvy that up as well. And as far as this building, we're going to clean that. I'm not gonna ask anybody to chip in for that, so we're gonna focus, our maintenance and sanitation is gonna focus on the other buildings, not this one.
So the work order for the light switch in our office.
So that one I've reached out to, well, I'm glad you brought that up. Friday, Fairchance is coming on site with, the architect. And we're going to do a walkthrough because there's several things that need fixed, and that's one of them.
Okay.
That's not necessarily something our in-house can do, but that is on the list of things. And I've actually, I think we communicated that with Fairchance already.
I don't want to get leaving the lights on.
No, you're not, it just doesn't turn on. I think there's not, the sensor's not there maybe, so that's something that we'll talk about Friday. But those kind of things that you see around that are pretty big, I don't know if anybody's been to the second floor, which frustrates me to no end. Second floor of the courthouse, there's the splitting down there, this stuff, and then you can pull the paint away, like literally. That's stuff that I'm gonna walk through with them on Friday.
I probably need to send you another work order. There in the appraiser's room, the floor is getting a larger hump in the floor.
Okay,
It was just a little bit, now it's getting higher.
we'll come by on Friday. Okay, but send me an email so I don't forget.
Yes.
Cause I'm getting a lot of, people have been telling me a lot lately, so. But yeah, we plan to meet, but that's after we walk the buildings. Cause I think that might be something that would be helpful, as far as expectations of cleaning. If they know each room, where to go. And I realize that some of them have been here for a while, but sometimes it makes it easier when someone walks through with you and points out what needs to be done. So, that's the plan.
When you meet with Fairchance, they replaced our window, but they didn't fix it completely, as the way I understand it. They put in the wrong window again. We don't have a hole.
If you can send me an email that says that, that's the kind of stuff I'll take with me Friday. And that way we can go to those locations and look at it. If I can take them, because that's the only way we're gonna get these things. So thank you.
Because I hadn't heard any more since they were here and they.
Or they just haven't been here, so they're coming back Friday. Okay, so I just found that out today.
Okay,
So,
Get an update on the blue building, that's
yeah, it's not, I don't think it's on here, blue building.
probably,
What's in the courthouse?
Okay, I'll wait.
I just didn't know if the elected officials were staying around.
Oh. You okay if I go ahead and give it?
Yeah.
So, I got a response back yesterday from the Department of Environmental Protection of the state. I had to, long story short, I had to go back in and apply for a permit. So I didn't know the process. It wasn't set up prior. I don't know the bullet. I can't give any more details than that. I just know that I got the help from the health department or the Department of Health from the state. They guided me to the DEP. Got in there, was able to enter all the information. They got back to me yesterday, to change some things, to correct things that I'm not familiar with certain things with building structures, okay? So, got that finished. So I'm hopeful, that I get a response back that we can get that removed over there. So we're on the right track now. Just need to get the okay, because I think what it is like, once the DEP goes through that process, then they can basically notify, or I can notify Department of Health that we're good to go. And then give them the letter, and then we can move forward with getting that lot clean. So we're closer than we were like 10 days ago. But, it is a 10-day waiting period. So that's kind of why I submitted the permit. I did have to wait a little bit longer, so we're trying to get there.
You guys got any questions?
I have a question. So I'm just to speak for myself, I can't speak for all the elected officials. We will do our best. I'll do my best. I don't spend a lot anyway. But the people that you've allocated money out to, have you asked them if they could take lesser also? Or
No, I don't think we've contacted him, have we? I don't know if we've contacted him.
I mean, one thing, my office got cut too, but
I know that.
a lot of, but a lot of those outside places we give, yeah, they're using our money as a state match. So if we give them 5, they're getting 10, and then what they're able to do with that money. But also with this year, so if they allocate 5,000 for someone, for one of those agencies, they have to submit invoices to receive that. So up to that amount, but they may not get that full amount. So that's gonna be due this year too.
Yeah, it's something this year, so different. But, no, we haven't.
And Charlie, you're upstairs being looked at.
I appreciate
We're getting, bids on your carpet and stuff like that. Just to let you.
And just to be clear, it's, you want us taking more of an effort on cleaning our offices, but the common areas like hallways and bathrooms are still being taken care of by.
Yeah, so
So
those
that-
kind of things will still be, something we'll handle, and I think the goal is for them to still continue to clean. Okay, to come into your office areas and do the best that they can with what we have. But if you can help out, like if you see, and if your trash is starting to overflow or something, just let me know, or let Tammy know, and that way we can get somebody to get the trash. But I think the goal is not for you to like take over, we're asking that you help when you can. Like, you don't have to get full on, like, come in and do the full on cleaning or anything like that, just, help us out when you can, because we're down one person, so.
This is supposed to be like a temporary thing, we're looking in the future to.
Hopefully.
I don't know, but I think hopefully.
Hopefully it is. And I think it will be just. Anybody else? I got one question.
Yes, sir.
The taxes, I think Wanda mentioned something about the taxes here a few meetings ago, that's not coming in, is that personal property taxes? So
I mentioned that.
you mentioned it also?
I've mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah,
Oh, 3 times.
what do you want to get out there to the people?
That they need to be assessed.
They need to be
So
assessed.
apparently it's on Google that personal property does not exist in
Yeah.
Northwest Virginia. I don't know how you get that off of Google. But we've had, 3 phone calls today of people saying, I don't have to pay these anymore. Yes, you do. You still have to get assessed on time and you have to pay your taxes at a time. If you do not, then you have to come see the assessor's office and get a supplemental tax bill, which then you pay in the sheriff's department. But that could include late fees and interest and penalties. So you ended up paying more than if you would have got assessed on time and paid it on time.
Yeah, I wanted you to share that with, so Liz would.
But the West Virginia still has personal property taxes that have to be paid each year.
They still have personal property taxes that needs to be paid to the state of West Virginia, so
Yes, sir.
that needs to get out there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. If there's nothing else, anybody got any comments? Any questions?
Can I speak
Sure.
about the exonerations?
Yes.
So I'm not staying for the whole meeting. There is one in there for a 2024 tax bill. And the reason that is the, it was a clerical error. It was, it was a pontoon boat. It was put in for like $120,000 and it should only been, I think 120. So that is the only one in there for 2024. But that was a clerical error.
Now, whose error was that?
That was done in our office.
In your office.
He did incorrectly. And he paid it before we could get it fixed. But everything else is 2025. And I've attached, if they've had to pay on a different vehicle, I've attached the tax bill to show where they paid on the correct vehicle.
Okay. Anybody got any questions? Sure. Okay, well, good, thank you. We'll get to them a little later.
Sure.
Okay. The minutes, everybody's got any other questions? Did you guys get a chance to read those minutes? Yes.
Big question on the 911 advisory, the terms ending for, Bruce and Yonker. I don't know if you had set your terms for your 911 advisory. Thank you.
I think the way that's wrote, the only ones that really would have any times would be the ones at large. I think the offices, whoever is in the office, once they're not in office, that office anymore.
I'm just gonna take that with terms ending off then.
Okay.
But I didn't have a date to put in there anything.
So they are kind of lengthy. You don't want to save that for the end with the rules and exonerations,
Yeah, you guys wanna do that?
because there's 3 sets there.
Yeah, I said it.
Let's hold them off until later.
Okay, public comments. Yes, Mr. Anthony King.
Sir, I'll wait. I came to discuss the
Yeah, so I'm gonna bring something up later that's, I asked him to
Oh,
be
okay.
here to discuss that, so that was.
Not a problem.
I can always talk more.
Huh?
I can always talk more.
That's the only one here signed up to speak, right?
Well, I'll speak after Dutch.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, not a problem. Okay. We'll get down to the officer sheriff is giving his monthly report. Then we get down, we got the West Virginia Division of Corrections, we got two, credits here for us. One was for $1,506.96, and the other one's for $3,920.86, so that's a help.
Should be a third one.
There's a third one there.
I don't have it.
One that showed.
I don't have it.
There it is.
What's it? It's for 107,
107.
64, so that's good, we got 3 of them, okay.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we get.
Wish all of them like
Okay, we got a statement here about, in accordance with the state code from the auditor's office. Assessor, it refers to the assessor and county clerk.
I don't have my phone.
It's about the valuation of property to be used to base determine classification of the county.
Yeah, this was just noticed that, effective July 1, Mineral County will be going from a class 3 to a class 2 county.
I didn't want to. All right, West Virginia legislation.
These are two copies of bills that were, the auditor's office had sent us, both Senate Bill 701 and, Senate Bill 587. One applied to the elected official salary increase, and the other one was regarding the sheriff commission, which we needed in order from back when we're working on our budget.
Well, we can't figure them in yet because they gotta be signed by the governor first.
Right.
I think you put down paper.
Yeah, I'll save us a lot of money.
Jeez.
No, the portion.
Hmm?
Am I too far? Yeah, I'm too far.
No, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember next item.
Where we at here? Auditor's office.
Yeah.
And value. Operation value. Okay. The value in Mineral County for fiscal year 2026-2027 is $88,979,756. So that's from the, state auditor's office.
That's for public utility property located within Mineral County.
Okay, then we have other different little reports from them here. I'm not gonna take time to go through all of them because we'll be here all night. No? All right, then we're here at the Landmark Commission.
So their bylaws are to present a copy of their minutes to us. So they had a meeting on March the 2nd and they supplied a copy of their minutes. As they had spoke to you when they came to do their budget proposal. You're talking about their new members. The very last little paragraph there, they're requesting that Joe Cheney, Vera Page, Leanne King, and Doug Wolf be added to the membership. And sort of we'll just have to get letters from each of those individuals saying they also want to be appointed.
Okay. This is the, proclamation from Intel.
Well, they're just asking if you consider one, if you would like to do one, we can add one to the next meeting.
Yes, I'm good with that. What's your guys' thoughts?
I'm good with that.
I just got this email today, that's what it's just added to correspondence.
And also, letter from the sheriff, the letter is certifying that Matthew Fuzzy, is that how you pronounce that, Fuzzy? Successfully completed a training in West Virginia University Academy, so he'll be on the road. Is he on the road this week?
He's with his training officer.
He's with his training officer, okay, so we did get one on board, we've had him hired for a little while. Okay,
How long does he have to be with his training officer?
It's 12-week FTA program, I believe,
Okay.
how long?
12 weeks.
12 weeks?
And it, if you don't mind, Roger.
Yeah, go on.
This, back to this Men's Health Month. So there's a sample proclamation, or are they not going to provide a proclamation? We have to write one up?
Yeah, I mean, they did provide the wording, so
Okay.
I can just type it, retype it.
Yeah, I just wondered, do we need to have it typed up, or do we need to do that, or will they provide one?
No, this is what they're providing, so I can just retype that and then make sure if the words follow your intentions, because sometimes you have to reword some of the
Okay.
proclamations.
All right, that's all. Thank you.
What's Arbel, is this Arbel for?
Oh, that's under old business, under CDBG.
Oh, okay. I didn't see nothing in it. All right, update on courthouse, courtroom, improvement project.
I don't think we have any boards or appointments, so.
No, we didn't have nothing in it.
But none.
I didn't see him, that's why I didn't say them. You got an update?
So I was actually in the courtroom today. Well, I'll go back. Let's start with courthouse. As I was speaking earlier, we'll do a walkthrough with Fair Chance Friday. For the punch list to see what they're going to fix, or what they need to fix. And then, I spoke with, Judge Pancake today for a little while in the courtroom. And I think the best move would be for the Supreme Court, the judges and our architect to talk again, to come finalize a plan for this remodel. I think it'd be easier that way. So I plan to I'll talk to Tom Friday, because he'll be here for the walkthrough. And I'll set up a meeting, hopefully early next week or midweek to try to finalize that courtroom remodel.
So we got.
Yeah.
Okay, update on the CDBG grant and health department facility.
So that's this pay app.
You pay out
That's the
24.
payout, yeah.
They're requesting 368, 301.
301.20.
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we approve the pay app
And I'll
24 for 368, 301.20. And this president,
Authorize the
authorize president to sign.
Second it.
Okay. Alrighty, we're going down then to the health department's coming along. There's been a little bit of issues. Not really crazy about people that don't know. They spent I think it's around $32,000 to put lighting, which needed to be in the beginning around the outside of the building in case somebody comes in there. Well, they're having issues now before they're setting the post. Wanted to set them on top of a sewer line. They have to drill down in 7 foot deep. And you can't do that, so they're running into some issues, so we'll cross that bridge when we get to it later. I think AJ's a little upset over it, but it is what it is.
Are they still on track for mid-April? or-
Well, they was on track for around April sometime, but I don't know what these lights is gonna do. I didn't really ask him today when I talked to him, probably should have, never thought of it. Okay, we don't have nothing else on that, update on opioid.
We had a meeting last Thursday, got together, actually, one person come in and talked to us, which I'll discuss later once we get more information. Brian Tucker was asked to come on board, he was at our meeting. And he will submit a letter to be in interest to be on that committee. That's all that I have right now.
Okay. Dog ward,
So we did start Justin Albright, the assistant, dog warden on 316. Seems to be going fine. As far as the part-time person, I don't have any more updates on the, person we made the offer to regarding the pre-screening process. I don't have an update on that. I believe that the part-time person that we hired temporarily is still in place right now. So no real change on those things, but, Justin is in the role currently.
crisis response.
So those were the monies that was received a few years back, I believe 2023. I spoke with, I had Tammy reach out, so we finally got to speak with somebody from the state. Jody Ratliff, I believe. I talked with him about the money. I asked, I said, I know it's been a few years, can we still use this? And he said that basically they would open it up from April 1 of this year to April 1 of next year. In the meantime, he actually had spoken with, Dr. Kurbos and Lauren, I believe, over with the Chase Park. They spoke with him about using the money. It sounds like they're gonna work with someone from Mon County, that's done training. And what this is it's basically, it's for the, EMS, program. So it's training for them, I believe, around like, mental health care. And I don't know the full details of it. It's some money that was received prior to me. but it sounds like it's gonna be put to good use. It is grant money, that's there. And I will have more to talk on once I see their plan on how they're gonna spend it. But it does have to meet certain parameters. It's meant to be, spent for whatever. But it will be used, basically for training purposes, my understanding. But that's really all I have right now until I get the plan from Lauren.
Okay, update on the best approval, of the prosecuting attorney's office. We're still getting another, we're gonna get a couple more quotes for carpet.
Yeah, we have a quote, we initially got a quote for this type of flooring, because that's kind of what the standard has been here. It's kind of expensive, so we asked them to look a different route, similar color to this, and it came in around 6,300. That's for the materials and everything in the install, and that's for prosecuting attorney's office area. So we actually have someone else we're gonna reach out to. This is our first quote, so we're gonna call around and get some more, Rickman? Rickman's flooring,
You see that one?
Oakland.
The benefit of having it all the same though is being able to replace the square and having it.
It is, not to get too far into detail with his office, but it is a little bit, it's older part. The flooring is not quite as level, and the concern is that they will pop up, kind of like we see happening. With just one single layer of, carpeting, it could be easier to get it down and maintain it. So we're just looking at other options, and that was, with this kind of tiling, it's about it's about $2,000 more, so. We're just kind of looking out there to see what we can do for them, just to clean it up a bit, it's pretty bad shape. I know people looking at it because, I just saw them today and we were looking at it again.
You got two prices, one for,
They're both from, they're one's for, regular, just the normal carpeting, not the tile type. And that, was the 635123. And then I can give you copies of these. And then
the same, if we're gonna receive other bids, then it's easy for the competition to go a little lower for an announcement.
Yeah.
I know it is.
I'll give you the other figure yet.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're welcome. So 2,000, so a little difference there, so we'll get an idea, on what we're doing.
Well, one reason we like the tiles is that if there was a stain or something or
You
something
can pull it up and
tear,
replace
you
it.
could pull up and that would be a simple replace. That was one reason we really like the tile.
It's very, you're right, it's easy to replace that, it's just the concern is that it'll continue to pop up. Like it's showing, it's happening in the other buildings.
Okay, is that it?
Was any time frame on the ceiling tiles or?
So we went up and looked at those today as well. Jason had picked up what they had in Morgantown. So we have what, 11 boxes up there. I reached out to you for an email address. So once we can determine, we can get started, hopefully next week, we can get started in replacing the one section. We do have some lights that are old lights that need to come out. So I wanna get some help with that, not outside help, but from our Parks and Rec person, because they have a little bit more electrical background. But for the safety piece of it, we're gonna start in an office that doesn't need lights removed. So we do have a game plan. I did go with them today and we looked at the ceiling tiles, so we have an idea on how to replace them out and potentially reuse some of them that are in okay shape.
Have them redo the metal before they put the new ones up then.
We did, yeah. We have an idea, some ideas. We actually bought some things to see if we can clean them, without painting them because of the spray paint and the materials and things like that that are in there. I know we can put the drop cloths down, but trying to look to see what we can do to make it speed up a little bit. So we bought some cleaning things just to see if we can get them to go back to their, original color.
Okay, what all you got on that upstairs? running contract for 911 in Berlin.
I thought we voted to hold off on that.
Yeah. so that-
We need to get off the agenda.
Okay, when it's completely submitted until, when do you want it back on then? Just,
I think we discussed middle to the end of the summer, correct?
yeah.
All right, discuss approval, modify policy and public comments, appointments.
So that one and the next one, sorry, Roger, to discuss approve modified policy on boards and appointments, requiring interviews, et cetera. Those two, I'm working on drafts. I think we determined May 1st that I would get those
Yes, okay.
in place.
Yes.
So we do have if you wanna put May 1st on that way I can work on those and get them completed.
Take it off in April point meetings and.
Yeah.
Heating issues on the first floor.
So Doug has reached out to a couple different contractors and, he did have Duckworths, respond back. So I think he's supposed to speak with them tomorrow and have them do a walkthrough. We do have the initial quote, from another vendor, but Duckworth is gonna come out and take a look just to see, what they're able to do. So he has called out, just not everyone has responded back.
Okay.
Update on new director of emergency management services.
Is this just my meeting? Because I feel like it. So I did get a response back from, Mr. Hayes. And he is countering the offer. And I just told him that I would bring it to the meeting today. I'm not sure if this is how it's supposed to go down. Oh, I didn't know who you were. See? Hey, no one can say that I had any kind of clear involvement. Yeah. This guy was, now, want him to speak to it or me to continue on? Or-
Well, Jordan, you have anything you want to say?
I appreciate the opportunity and the offer, but with my experience and my background, I would like to see the 70,000 that was posted at the top of the range.
And that's what he said in the email. So, we can,
How long did you work up there before?
3 years, I think it was roughly 3 years. I was in, about the middle of COVID.
Yeah,
What, 15 years in as a.
I've been running EMS in the county since I was 17 years old, was an EMT for 2 years, and then became a paramedic after that. And been serving in the county ever since, in that capacity as well.
One good thing about Jordan, if you don't mind me adding this. You're a good dispatcher too.
Thank you, sir.
So,
I appreciate it. A lot of the deputies have texted me and a lot of them have texted me and said, congratulations, please apply, or I had a lot of good correspondence from the deputies as well. Because that was my purpose when I was sitting in that chair as commissioner ever since.
so I think looking at the papers that I've got, documentation stuff, I think he checks all the boxes. Other than there's some recertification that I've left to do. And he has experience with the building and the people up there. Again, at a time when we're trying to cut money, so this is really a tough call to throw in an extra 5,000.
I understand, and according to the budget that was there in the previous administration, it's still a save-in money.
I agree, and also that's a kind of a different pot of money, so. I will make the motion to approve the 70,000 counter. With I would like I don't know if we had a 6-month. Probationary period in before, was that in there before?
It had been, you discussed it in the work session. I don't know that it was ever anything formal, but I'll agree to the 6-month probation period.
So I will make a motion to accept the offer of 70 with and add in the 6-month probationary period.
I'll second that.
okay.
I'll update the offer letter and resend it.
Okay. from the board.
And then April first was the day that I gave.
You can start April first.
Yes, sir.
That'd be good.
I'll submit it to either tonight or tomorrow.
You need any more questions?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Roger. Sir? Oh, I'm sorry.
Jordan Hayes.
I didn't see you back there. I'm sorry about that. Does anybody got any questions? Maybe I should ask that.
I'm sorry.
Are you gonna be doing the billing
In what regard? In what regard?
to the ambulance services? I asked for 15 minutes to speak, but I believe you and I need to talk.
What was your question? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Is he gonna be doing the medical billing for EMS services?
No. He's just running EMS 911.
Each ambulance service does their own billing service. Each of the ambulance services, the 9 do their own billing.
It's resourced out through a third party organization, MCA. That is our billing company that we use for EMS.
Okay. Did you say you asked for a few minutes?
Yeah, I'm at work.
Oh, it's not on the agenda. That's why.
On Tuesday, after the last meeting on the tenth.
Oh,
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
I don't see it on the agenda. That's why when you said that, I was looking for it. And,
Hold on.
I went through my old emails and things that I'm sorry.
No, it's just, I spoke with him in my office.
Oh, thank you. What was the name?
Mark. Mark. Sterling.
There it is. Yeah,
I do remember that.
I'm sorry, there it
You've
is.
been
Mark.
talking to me about that.
well, I'll tell you what, here in a little bit, we'll give you an, is it okay? Are you in a hurry or? Do you need it now or? Okay, all right. Well, I apologize on behalf of everybody for that not getting in there. I'm sorry about that. I didn't know it. When you said that, I was looking and,
So that's probably why.
okay. All right, let's move on down now. We got the big decision to come up with. We got an $8 million decision.
0.6.
Yeah, okay. You wanna present that?
So you each have, yes, more paper wasted, but I provided each of you a copy of the budget. This will be presented to the state tomorrow because I'm going to go through it yet one more time. Just to make sure all the numbers are perfect. And I've already been through it a couple times, but I'm gonna go through it one more time before I send it tomorrow. If you approve it tonight.
And the total budget is, you wanna,
$8,677,554. For general county, 42,000 for Polk.
for coal seven. Okay. Do I hear a motion to accept the budget?
I'll make a motion to accept the budget.
I'll second that.
Of course, this is to submit it to the state.
State, right?
The state will review it, then they will send us either a question, conditional approval, or they'll send us an approval. In which then on April 21st, we will lay the levy, and then it becomes official.
The only thing I ask for you to do is remind Jill to get all the money she could get from the taxes. I know, I just.
Tell the state to send a big fat check.
Yeah.
When you made the motion, did,
Yeah, Jason said that, also. Okay, the resolution for coalition against bigger trucks. This is getting kind of blowed out of hand. Portion. This is not for sound. Everybody's coming out with this sound about larger trucks. It's not about the sound of larger trucks. I'm 100% in favor of not having larger trucks on our highways because they're dangerous. And this little town, some areas cannot handle larger trucks. We just can't do it. So, what's the rest of your comments?
did you send the template yet?
Did he?
Because that was just Thursday, he said he's gonna send it.
Yeah, I think so.
If we need to carry it over, we can.
We'll probably carry it.
Carry it,
We have it now.
I mean, I can,
But so everybody knows too, that the federal government, right now, depending on the, see you, Charlie. Right now, depending on the truck and the ability of the truck, they can haul up to 80,000 pounds. The federal government's working on, or Congress is trying to jump it up to 91,000. Which, I mean, that'll affect extra. Sorry, the extra $11,000 or $11,000, 11,000 pounds, roughly an extra 13-14% in weight. For these trucks creates, greater stopping distance for them. They don't know, our bridges and a lot of our bridges in West Virginia are struggling now. And you put extra weight on them per truck, how is that gonna affect things? So that's,
We can also extend in the,
They extend the length.
yeah, they
Yeah.
come in length too.
extend length, I didn't remember.
That's what it's all about. And also,
This person came, they wanted us to, basically get a letter or something together and send it to federal government, just saying that we don't want it, so.
right. And also it does road damage. It does more damage to blacktop than what people realize. And it's not good for other people out there driving. You ever see one of them in a bad accident, it's not good.
Apparently the push is like a lot of companies like Amazon and Walmart, they can move more product
Yeah.
with less cost.
It's all about, the bottom line is all about the almighty dollar.
Yep.
Is what it's about. Yes, sir.
The one thing I was gonna mention, I live up in New Creek, and the one thing that with Matiki shutting down, we're seeing a lot more coal truck traffic headed up through there than what we've ever seen, because it's nothing now for me to have 3, 4, 5 coal buckets roll through there in the mornings, and it has not been like that since I've been here. So we've got that because a lot of the coal is being trucked out of Pennsylvania.
And on tractors and trailers, I said this when I was in Charleston to the State Highway Department. If any of you, if anybody here or listening, wherever, travels Nobley Road south to Grant County, up around Quarter H, I'm telling you right now, from there to Maysville, you better watch your business. I've been up here the other end, I've met tractor and trailers both ways. And I've seen them off in the side ditch up there, they get people off the side ditch, it's not good. That, Rick, that road needs to be looked at, it needs to be widened there up. In all honesty, it's bad. I mentioned that, if you remember, I don't know if you was there or not, I don't think you were, but that, somebody's gonna get hurt.
Well, then the bigger issue is too, the school bus stop.
The school, well, yeah,
You got schools and those guys drive those trucks like they're Maseratis.
and Nobley Road is not real wide.
Uh-huh.
It's
I
not
was
made for
almost
tractors
told
and
by a
trailers.
coal truck 3 years ago.
Right, sir?
Yeah, I don't know if you wanna extended dialogue on this now. I mean, we talked about that one area and we've got SWAT folks working on that dip in the road we talked about, but consideration,
Yeah, that's right off of Nobley on Penny Road, yeah.
but a consideration, if you widen that road, that's only gonna encourage more trucks.
I know, but what, I don't know what the answer is. I understand what you're saying.
Armed guards.
Well, I just don't want to see somebody hurt.
Yeah, I hear you. I'll bring it up to Lee and, down to, Rumball with regards to projects.
Yeah.
Can they eliminate, can they, well, yeah, basically eliminate, could they put signs up not allowing trucks to take those exits?
Oh, let me look into that. I've had some success, getting signs up. Not that it necessarily stops people,
Yeah.
but, it's a fair warning.
Candace said she'll put the letter together for
one, yeah, he sent me one.
Okay.
for next meeting.
All right, thanks. All right. Approve the quote for the Advantage computer system.
That's in your packet. This is the one Candace gave you. It's got the 1 year for 4 or the 3 year for 9.
1 year for $45.95 and 3 year for $99.95. So we're looking, if you look at 3 years, you're looking at saving $3,790. What's your thoughts?
And it does, the one currently warranty runs out this August, so.
When is it? August?
that who the current warranty's through, with Vantage? Computers, do they purple?
His name is Francis.
Imagine.
It was 4,595 for 1 year, or 9,995 for 3 years.
How would this affect, like, looking into the new computer systems for the different areas?
This is all phone,
Okay.
so this is more phone than anything.
Okay, I think it's just fine.
Yeah, yeah, I think they would like our business for the other, but it's more phone.
It's the courthouse, the annex, the extension office, the health department, community corrections. Can't remember if we had how many phones were on there, 143 phones.
What did you say, courthouse?
It's on your
Courthouse,
paper.
Pretty much every building.
It's on your paper.
I mean,
Oh.
yeah, the courthouse, annex, extension office, health department, community corrections, 143 phones.
And they're what, $395 a piece if we don't have the warranty, so to replace them. It's like $395 a phone.
Will that cost include service calls or whatever they need to do?
No,
Thanks, sir.
that's the hourly rate. We try not to have it all over, or call it. Session. It doesn't expire till August, so if you don't wanna do it right now, we can wait.
Yeah, this is just getting it in front of you before,
Yeah.
So hold off on
so
it.
that we can budget for it, basically.
I'd like to hold off.
Okay.
You wanna hold on to that? All right. Do that.
Okay, well, approved community corrections grant.
Yes, Mrs. Sarah Hockaday has presented her, grant for the community corrections grant for this year. She is asking approval of her grant application and the memorandum of understanding, as well as a resolution. The grant amount, I guess you'd like to know that. State funds requested, $379,388.
Say that again.
379,388.
Is that the same as it was last year, or is that more, or we don't know?
You know what? I do not know off the top of my head. I wanna say it's a little bit more.
That's why.
I'm on here. Can you hear me?
Did it go up any, Tara?
Actually, it went down.
Way to go.
And it's still, yeah, it's a little over, excuse me, it's a little over 30% match. We've received, this is my 20th year writing the grant. And we've received the same amount, 190,000 for the last at least 10 or 12 years. So, like I said, the grant application went down a little bit. We still have a vacant position in Grant County, but we're making do.
Good. I'll make a motion, we approve, the application for the grant and authorize the president to sign.
The MOU and the resolution too.
MOU and the resolution.
And I'll second that.
Well, you're signing, so then.
I'll second it.
All right, discussion approved limited building
Get
assessment.
that to you tomorrow, Tara.
Thank you very much, guys.
Discuss the limited building assessment and final
I'm assuming
report.
you all received that in an email, but I did not copy that. See, I was thinking about saving paper. I did
Yeah,
not,
good.
I did not copy this.
I remember getting
And like,
Huge
and like.
paper. Oh, I didn't read it. I assumed you guys read it and sent to you.
I don't think I got to read it all, or if I do, I don't
Well,
remember
they-
everything.
I mean, they submitted pictures and documentation.
Yeah, it was
So they gave some recommendations about cleaning the HVAC. Here's recommendations. Removal, replacement, and or cleaning of all adversely affected building materials, ceiling tiles, carpet, vinyl, code base within the subject site, HVAC closets, one of the specific offices in that area. Then let's see, utilizing HEPA filters and the vacuum cleaner. So they give us a list of things. Now, there's not necessarily a cost yet for what they'll, because I'm not sure if they provide the services. I think Tammy asked them for that. So we're gonna have to find out what the cost is for that type of clean. They basically said this is the type of, and just so that no one's super concerned, it's not, it's your typical mold that grows, so of course it can. Some allergies and things that can make it worse, but it's nothing.
Not black mold or anything.
No, there's nothing wrong. They would have provided them. So they're just recommending that we do some thorough cleaning. Third party, so not necessarily in-house. And what they have to do. So we'll have to get, so it's really not a decision to be made, really, it's just that I wanted to put it out there. That we do need to take some action, but we can put this together and be able to figure how much it costs. I think we have to take some action, we just can't leave.
So I was starting to I remember I was trying to read through it, but like you said, too big. So can they pinpoint this to where the water got in before the source?
So it's I'm assuming it's the old.
Water's been getting in that building for over.
Yeah, I mean, we know that there's water going in from the concrete situation,
Okay.
but I think this is from the heating and air conditioning system. So, or just the heat, I don't know what's over there, but it's leaked, you know?
So did we have an insurance claim when we got water in there? So I'm wondering if we can add this to our insurance claim or not.
Maybe, I think it was cleaned before. That's my understanding. That Service Master, or one of them came in and did a cleaning, but I don't know when that was and how long ago.
Okay.
But I can make a note.
Yeah, make a note of that and if we can find something else.
And also, while we're addressing mold, and it's gonna eventually come, what about this concrete where water's coming in? Has anything been addressed there on that yet?
So we've talked to Mr. Nelson, not anything finalized. I know that there's no, I don't have an agreement that I can refer back to. I did find some notes where there was discussion last summer, back and forth with previous, county administrator. And I think there was some agreement to come back and fix it, but I don't have anything written in that, like.
We don't have any.
So, I think that we've talked about it some, just amongst ourselves, nothing, no decisions were made. But we've discussed it because it is a problem, that in the future, maybe there won't be as much concrete. We won't put that much back, we'll just cut it away, and put enough around, kind of keep the water from flowing into the buildings. So no, Roger, there's nothing bothering you,
No, I didn't.
but we gotta do something.
Wanted to, yeah, I know.
Did you say Tom's gonna be here Friday?
Yes.
Maybe I can get here when Tom's here.
He'll be here for 8:30, and they're probably gonna be here, it looks like the walkthrough is like 8:30 to 2:30.
Okay, maybe I'll get here and talk to Tom about that concrete.
Okay.
We'll get it tore up and then not replace so much of it, maybe you're come up with a different plan.
Can I just say one thing about the new HVAC system and why they're here? Our new HVAC systems have not had the filters changed in the upstairs part since we've been in that building, as far as we know. So I just, as we're talking about the old HVAC system, we don't get a plan of action in place for the new ones. We're gonna have the same problem up there too, because those filters have been well over a year now.
Is that part of the thing that's with?
Everyone changed them in my side in the hallway, but
They've got to get up in Jill's office, up and talk to the thing,
I
and
never say, did they even know one was there?
yes, because they know they have to get up in the attic to do it.
Does
It was Doug that went though.
Oh, is Doug doing it?
Doug went through and changed mine.
your thermostats have the light on them that tells you when the filters is bad. Do you know? Some does, some don't.
That, I don't know, but just talking about that, and I'm sorry to.
No,
Yeah, no, I'm glad.
But I worry that the warranty and stuff you're talking about, like on that new HVAC unit's probably 18 months old now, and those filters haven't been changed, and you're talking.
You should have seen how much stuff.
Well, like I said, I can only imagine, but just preventative action, I know they said we're gonna have to be harnessed, I guess they're up in there somehow. So just something to maybe, I don't know if it's HVAC or if that's a fair chance for you,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know which way it is, but just,
Oh, I have it on my list.
I'm sorry.
No, I'll talk to them, ask them Friday.
Did you say that's smart? Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah,
And anything else you know in that building that you got, you looked at?
Birds in the ceiling already.
Huh?
I got birds in the
Yeah.
ceiling. I thought he was coming through my vent yesterday. Well,
Up above,
in my ceiling.
above the drop ceiling?
Yes.
Throwing off bats?
No, not the noise they were making. And that means that I have a lot of little birdies.
What are they doing?
There's a hole, in the corner of where the old building and the new building meet. There's apparently a hole somewhere, and there's one over there.
And point that out, fair chance.
Yeah, I called her
Yeah, they're really
yesterday,
gonna be in love with me on Friday.
when they were making all their noise up there yesterday, I called them like, I need to get one more down their list. If you needed something else added to the list.
Okay. There's nothing other than that. There's nothing else that fair chance needs to be looked at that you know of.
well, I mean, with the floor, like she said, where the floors are coming apart, I would go with a solid piece. If you go into our appraiser's office and you're not paying attention, you will end up on their desk because the floor has peaked, that the carpet is peaked.
Well, the one, I got a report from one of the bathrooms that there's places bad. Is that, I don't know if it was upstairs or down, I don't
It's
remember.
on the second floor of.
Second floor, you got that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, so they bring it up.
No, I got it. It's bad. It is.
Yeah.
I think it's not. I don't know. Yeah, the bathrooms.
All right, West Virginia Secretary of State requested said meeting regarding census.
Yes, they were suggesting Wednesday, April 1st as a meeting date.
April, what day is that on?
What'd
Yeah,
you
I
say?
think so.
April 1st, is that?
It's a Wednesday.
That, so are we good with that? Do we have a time?
I would prefer to start between 9 and 12.
How long would that last, do you know?
I do not know.
9 o'clock.
Oh, maybe he means start at 9 and go through till 12. Maybe that's what he
Okay,
means.
9 o'clock. Good deal. We'll go with that. Are you good with that, everybody?
That's so Wednesday, the 1st at 9 AM. Of course, I have to check with, Jill and Bill. Bill with the county planner, and then, also I'd like to see if maybe Jeanette could possibly zoom in with 911 addressing. Yeah, I'll forward her this email. I'll forward this email to her, cause that would be good if Jeanette could zoom in.
Okay,
Was that a motion to set that, or?
I'll make a motion. We said April 1st at 9 o'clock on Wednesday.
I'll second that.
Great, all right. I know this is a little early, but request funding for Christmas decorations. Who wants that? Who's got that?
Well, yeah. I understand they got 13 of the 25 so far, and they're looking for support, so they do have more information.
Yeah, well,
You're talking about
Louis
Eastern Family
Kitchener for
Service.
putting this together. I don't know if you guys remember the Christmas decoration outside of the Family Aging Service. One there, him and his wife bought it, and then but their goal is to, eventually go all the way up the creek with them, but start here at the bridge and work our way at least to South Street. And then, of course, as right now, we don't have money, as far as our budget stuff goes. So as far as the county helping out, but citizens have been jumping in and helping.
I think, yeah, this is not only directed to you as county funds, but also directed to you as personal funds. I think they're gonna kind of approach a lot of the other elected officials and this, you know, any.
It's like anywhere from $300 to $400 or $300 to $500 an ordinance, something like that.
A lot of them are much more than that. Yeah, it's closer to like 3 to 1,500. Plus insulation with pole was about 800, and then electric would be beyond that. So they are hoping when they get all of them to install ones that they could get a better deal for installation. Then they'll also have the electric service. They'll need to be paid beyond that.
So we probably ought to hit up, like the state legislators and the business owners.
They already are.
I know every business owner on the stretch will have.
My arm's already been twisted.
Yeah.
And reach out to Potomac Edison, they frequently donate the electric.
I can do that.
I think he was already, you were
Have you-
already contacted to do that,
Have
weren't
you
you?
contacted?
Not contact Potomac Edison.
Oh, okay, I
I
thought,
had not heard that.
I thought you were the one that
No, I
was looking into that. to take
Suggested
care-
that to Louis Earl.
Okay.
I'll,
I think they put your paper.
I'll get a hold of Thomas.
Yeah.
Kevin also asked if, Candace could work along the city of Kaiser just to see exactly the amount that's gonna take to do this kind of
Yeah, I was
work
gonna-
all the way up.
Just to say that some people might say, well, that's in the city of Kaiser, the first phase of it, yes, but then the idea is to extend. So, and if you go through some of the other communities, like Lotus County for one, at Christmas time, they have all the decorations out. You get through, there's not really, for anybody going through the main 220, there's not that much. The city does put a lot, downtown. But they were hoping, I think, to have somebody from the county working with the city, work on the plans.
So, how do you drop
Yeah.
too much?
So on that note as well. But I have some ideas, very minimal cost to the county, if any, but Christmas time, I would like to do something in front of the courthouse and decorate in front of the courthouse with Christmas stuff. Roger, have they ever done that, or has that ever been done, or is that ever?
Lights and trees, well, we used to have the big pine tree, and we used to, it was decorated, and people would come and help decorate it.
But nothing major.
Other than the
I'm not thinking
big tree.
nothing major, I just like having some lights and maybe some,
We used to have candles in the windows and.
Yes.
yeah, that's kind of where I was going. And I've already started exploring some things, I thought about it this past Christmas and, we had all the mailboxes and stuff were all decorated, not mailboxes, the meters were all decorated by the citizens and stuff, and here our courthouse sits and there's no decorations. I'd like to see us do something, nothing.
We're in an improvement
Yeah,
project,
I know,
and we talked
I know.
about that, cause it did look pretty humbug,
Yeah.
but we were trying to.
But I would like to, I do have some ideas, like I said, I think it'd be a very minimal cost to the county, if any.
It's just, run the power, we got to a place to put the
Yeah.
power outside the building, by the firebox.
Yep. Okay.
All right, the Memorial Line notice.
All right, what I have here, you want to take him and pass him down, I already gave Lauren hers, there's one of those. One there for Candace. What I've done is this is a notice or a petition to intervene. This is actually what Hampshire County, and I just found a big mistake, I used their date, but I basically took their letter, what they did, changed it over to Mineral County and everything within Mineral County. I've read through it a couple times, I think it falls in line with what we have talked about and how we feel about it. I would like to, continue this further and, if there's any corrections or additions in here, I talked to Victoria Wilson, who is the attorney that, public service, she works for Public Service Commission, but she is assigned to this case. Talked to her today, the deadline is June 1st, but she recommended getting in as ASAP. What this does, it will get us, and I got another paper to fill out too, where everything will be electronic. They can email us anytime anything's updated with the case as it goes along, similar to what we was getting with Piedmont with their water issues. You get emails every so often about updates to the case. Anytime a report's filed, anytime anything changes, we would get information to that. And then when the time comes, we could possibly, go to the hearing and discuss that. So this is why I asked Tony to be here. He is much more versed in this than I am. And so Tony, if you don't mind coming up to the podium, if you have anything to say that I didn't mention or.
No, I'll just maybe add on to what you said a little bit. Well, so I was here a few months ago and asked you guys to sign a petition a protest letter, which I appreciate. In case you guys don't remember, I represent West Virginians Against Transmission Injustice. In fact, Cheryl Brown is also on the board. We're the two board members from Mineral County. And so where we're at now is that the 31st of January, NextEra put in their application to basically a certificate of approval. So that started the clock on them requesting the Public Service Commission to approve the Morrow line, which if you guys remember, goes from Greene County through, Mon, Preston, Maryland, and us in Hampshire County, and it goes basically ends up the data centers. So this started the clock. I will say, NextEra has been, so the next step they're supposed to do is they're supposed to go out and notify the public of you're impacted by this. And their applications, their application to notify has been rejected twice by the Public Service Commission because of inaccuracies in the map. So they've kind of been vague on the map, and they've been vague on the cost to ratepayers. So Public Service Commission has gone back and said, hey, you guys got to redo this. And so we really thought that the deadline to intervene was going to be the 15th of April. But working with them, with the Public Service Commission, we've got pushed to the 1st of June. And as to interveners, I will say that there's basically two types of interveners. There's an active intervener and a passive intervener. So our organization, WADI, we were actually the first organization in the state to get intervener status. And we're very active. We've got two law firms that were working with us. One of them is called Hannon & Hannon. They're Public Service Commission attorneys. In Charleston, we've got another pro bono attorney firm called Appalachian Mountain Advocate. So we're fighting this. So we're gonna challenge this in court. It's basically a court. So NextEra has submitted their information, and then we get to go and cross-examine that and do all that stuff. What we're kind of asking, the citizens are asking, is our county commissioners to basically take that next step from your protest letter and becoming an intervener. And so far, I know Dutch has said that Hampshire County and Preston County have both done that. From my understanding, Mon County is shortly going to consider that same thing. And the great news is, it's you participate at whatever level you want to. So you can be a passive intervener and just like Dutch said, just give the information. But it's really critical if the Public Service Commission rules against us, the people of West Virginia. If you're not an intervener, you don't have a legal standing to appeal that decision. So it does protect your legal rights as far as an organization or an individual. So I think just for that reason, it's really important to do that. Second, I think it sends a strong message to the people of Mineral County that, like the other counties, that you're the back. Because, right now, I think the last time I looked at the Public Service Commission docket, there's over 4,000 protest letters for this line. From my understanding, this is so far, there's never been a case like this in front of the Public Service Commission where there's been so much public outrage and protest against this project. In fact, this is one of the first projects where counties have actually intervened and to be a party to the thing. So I would ask you to please consider that and do that. If anything, protect the county rights and to send a signal to your constituents in Mineral County that you got their back, that you're on the same side. I don't know if Rick wants to, Rick also has intervened as an individual, as a delegate. Rick's one of two delegates in the state who've intervened, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more in the coming days. If you have any questions for me? Is that right, Dutch?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you.
I'm with you 100% on that, because from my understanding, we're getting another one.
Well, that's right. It's called Valley Link. And it's going through 14 counties, and they're gonna start hitting you guys up this summer. Valley Link is actually two different lines. One goes from basically Southern Virginia up to the data centers. And the other one starts in West Side State. Right now, there's two routes, and what First Energy wants to do is they want to put it right through the National Forest land. But we're gonna fight that one as well.
Now, is that the one that you're talking about going through the southern part of the county?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's, I knew that about a year ago.
It depends on the route, but I think the decision point on the route is actually west of us, but it's probably gonna dip bottom part of Preston into us.
It's going, the way I was told, and I won't get into who, but they know, is it's right between the northern part of Grand County and the southern part of Minden.
That's right. I'll tell you right now, I looked at their site today, and they don't have a route. I've got two maps of proposed routes they gave PJM, and they're very vague. And so the southern route, this is two different lines, but they're calling it Valley Link. So the southern part doesn't come into West Virginia. Dominion Power put in their application. They actually started that process about a month ago. I tell you, they got Virginia's going in Civil War #2, you know what I mean? And then, they're gonna probably start coming to do open houses in West Virginia this summer. I think they're probably gonna put the application in for that line with the Public Service Commission this fall. But we're gonna fight that one as well.
Well, when they come for open house, would you let them know I need another 25-foot tape?
All right,
That's
interesting.
not all I do.
All right.
It's free, that's why. Okay. No, I'll tell you what, I'll make the motion to approve the Merle line notice to intervene, because I'm with you 110%.
Appreciate that.
That's for Roger.
I'll second that. I think we need the.
Well, I gotta sign it, that's
Yeah, I
right.
think we need to include the motion. Okay, so I'll not to overstep you, Roger. I'm
That's
sorry.
all right, I understand.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve this. I do need to edit the date on the top. But I would like make a motion to approve this notice to intervene, or petition to intervene, I'm sorry. Approve the president to sign, and then the clerk will be able to file this electronically. Although this paper says original plus 12 copies, that was the old way. Now they're allowing to do it electronically. And also I want to add that Victoria Wilson that I talked to, she looked over Hampshire's while I was on the phone with her, and she said, yeah, everything's good with Hampshire. If you carbon copy that, everything will be good. So, again, I'll make a motion to approve this, approve the president to sign, and for the clerk to send that out once the date's corrected.
I second that, and I approve that also.
Gentlemen, can I just add one quick comment? Thank you very much. Waddy, we're gonna do a series of open houses starting Thursday. So across all 4 counties, we're gonna have these clinics where we're helping impacted landowners to come in. We're gonna educate them. We're gonna give them an update on what's the status of the project. What does it mean to be an intervener? Cause most folks don't even understand. I didn't until I got involved with this. And help them just like you just did, help individual landowners or just concerned citizens to put their application to be interveners. So the first one is actually Thursday night. The first one's gonna happen in Mineral County, and it's at Brookdale Farm. And we're gonna open house 6 to 8. I think Rick's gonna be there to talk to some folks at the beginning. You gentlemen are more than welcome to attend if you like. The purpose though is to help folks go through this process, write their letters, help them draft if they need some help, and either help them mail it or file it, e-file it.
So again, just repeat the date and time
The
and.
first one's Thursday, 6 to 8 PM at Brookdale Farm.
How do you get these out to let everybody know? Cause I'm tied up thirsty.
How do we do what, sir?
To get them out to where people know.
Okay, well, we've got it on social media, we've got it in stores. I've got a half ad page coming in the Mineral Times, this Thursday. And also Hampshire Review's got an article they're writing about it. We also have an ad in Hampshire Review. There's a TV reporter coming from ABC7 tomorrow from Alexandria. And next week I'll be on the radio in Morgantown. So we're just getting the word out.
What are the things that concerns me about all these? Cause I look at this, every time I go up to Grand County, there's about 3 or 4 lines coming through, they're close together. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I've seen them.
And do you realize what that has cost the county as far as nobody can build there? You're done. It's it's just wasted ground other than pasture.
Yes, farming. What's concerning too is, great news, our county classification is going up. I'm gonna guess that's based off of population increase to the county.
Property
Well,
values.
people don't move it because of power lines, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so these transmission lines, they're going to the data centers in Loudoun County, that's it. I know next year it tries to put a different spin on it, it's not true. And And, you know, we're gonna pay for it. People in this county are paid enough for
We're starting to pay
electricity.
now.
Yes, sir. These lines will add even more.
I would like to see legislation take a look at this where it would benefit a county some way, because they're coming through unless people like this fights it. They're coming through and it's hurting the counties financially.
I'll just simply say we had several pieces of legislation trying to approach this from different angles, and I don't think a single one of them got through.
No, yeah.
I know I'll say that last month we went up and we had a lobby day and Rick helped us set up a lot of appointments with his fellow delegates and senators. And I will say, for the most part, every senator we met with, which was over a dozen, opposes these lines.
Yeah.
And most of the delegates, not all the delegates, without saying anything more than that, but the delegates that are here opposed it. And I appreciate his support.
It's a statewide issue. It's not unique just to us. Lots of things, probably somebody needs to take a step back, put a grand plan together, which right now it's wild west.
Yeah, I don't want it to come through our fund.
You know, I'm amazed that, you know, at the end of the day, it's three individuals appointed by the executive branch that make this decision for thousands of West Virginians, right? And, you know, not to get off topic, but at some point, you know, either the PSC needs to be accountable to the people, or this needs to be a referendum issue, because if, you know, if it's good for the state, it should be easy to convince us to vote for it.
Okay. You don't have any more to add to that?
No, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Thank you, Doug.
Thanks for coming, Tony. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Notice of employee termination.
Yeah, I don't. There's a question before that whether it should be or shouldn't be stated when an employee is terminated. When an employee's hired, you know, the name's given, when they resign, they are given. But I don't know where we were with some of the other stuff, what was not.
The legal, well, according to the lawyer, that we're supposed to, take it as far as public commission goes, but, she hasn't gotten back to me on that either. As far as.
And so a copy is provided to you, but I just.
So we'll bring that up again, right?
Yeah.
Put it on another agenda. All right, exit audit for the American Rescue Fund. That's going to be set up later, right?
Yeah, so I spoke with her, we did get the compliance reports completed. Or not completed, but submitted, and, preliminary results, there are no findings, so no issues found. We will go ahead and have a final meeting with the, auditor on April 14th, so at the next meeting.
Oh, it's gonna be here till our next meeting. I talked to her the other day, she was well pleased with the way everything was presented to them out there. So, great.
So I plan on just add that to the next agenda, and we'll have a call with them.
Okay, Mr. Mark. Right? Yeah, Mark. You,
I'm actually gonna take a little bit of a step back to the meeting, the first meeting I've ever attended on the 10th. And anywhere I've ever lived. But it touched something that I deal with daily. And have dealt with for 24 years of my life, working in the hospitals and out. With that being said, there was a statement that was made that the majority of the people that are picked up by EMS in this county do not have insurance. I looked up on the last paperwork that I could find that was done, was 2024, 4.9% of the residents in Mineral County are without insurance. Which means the majority of the people in the county either have commercial insurance, Medicare, or Medicaid, some type of insurance. And then there was a statement that was made that ambulances on average get about $43 per call. With that being said, I've got paperwork here that is a fee schedule that comes from CMS. CMS is the governing body of which Medicare and Medicaid is going to reimburse to any medical facility. With that being said, there is what we call ICD-10 codes and CPT codes in the billing world. Those also are attributed with modifiers. Those modifiers, the insurance companies unfortunately do not give you as a healthcare provider. I have had instances where I've had an insurance carrier said, we can't tell you what the modifier is. And I said, is it a number or an alphabetical number? And they say an alphabetical. And I say, okay, tell me when to stop. And I'll go A, B, C, D, E, F, stop, back up 2. Thank you. I got my modifier. I send the bill back through the insurance carrier. It gets paid. Medical billing, and I own a company that does medical billing. Medical billing is one of the biggest pain in the butt you could ever want to get into. I deal with the medical billing in my wife's office. I spend probably 4 hours every day doing nothing but calling insurance carriers, beating people over the head to get money that's owed us. But with that being said, and this would be something, if you want to talk, let me know. I'll give you everything I pulled off. But for an extra attendant on an ambulance, if it's billed out correctly, is an $18 charge. So for every extra person on that ambulance is $18 owed to the fire department. Advanced life support level 1 non-emergency. Billable CMS states that the paying fee is $244.50 for that ambulance run. But here's the kicker. If it's billed correctly, you can bill for each extra person that's involved in that, plus the mileage on the ambulance, which is billable at $5.05 per mile that they run. There's an individual within this room that I happen to know. He took an ambulance ride, hit him for $1,200. My question is, and it rung a bell with me, and why I started digging through this is, if one person from another outfit is getting billed $1,200, why are the volunteer fire departments not getting that same treatment? Is it because of credentialing? Credentialing in West Virginia is very difficult because not only do you have to credential with the overall seeing authority, which is Molina, or was at the time, they've sold since then, I forget what they're called now. You have to go through them. Then there's 3 NCO programs within the state of West Virginia. There is Aetna Better Health West Virginia, there's Unicare, which was sold to WellPoint, and then you have the Health Plan of West Virginia. You have to credential with Molina in the state of West Virginia before you can credential with any of the NCO insurance carriers. You also have to do that in order to get West Virginia Medicare reimbursement. If you do not initially do that, anything you turn into the state or to Medicare, Medicaid, it's going to be denied outright. For non-compliance, you're not in whatever jargon they want to use at the time that you're not going to be paid. Then you have to credential with each individual insurance carrier. Predominant insurance carriers in the state of West Virginia are Anthem, Highmark, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Highmark of West Virginia, Cigna, Aetna, and Highmark of Tennessee, believe it or not. Because a lot of the chicken plants and the patients we deal with, all their insurance is out of Tennessee, Chattanooga. But the caveat is in the billing world, you have to bill through West Virginia Highmark first. It gets denied through there. That denial takes 10 to 12 days to get, business days. Once they deny it, my biller takes that and she sends it to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Chattanooga will pay it. Well, they have 30 days to reimburse us from the time of the initial denial. Well, I'm already leading 30 days out from getting reimbursement. So medical billing, if you're not fighting for every penny you're getting, you're losing money. And there's big money out there that goes directly to the EMS services, the fire halls that the EMS service is involved with. A basic life support run is $203 reimbursement. You get into a very large bill, which is a level 1, you've got $349 that's payable. You get a specialty care transport, you pick a patient up out here at the hospital that is a cardiac arrest, the helicopter can't fly. They've got to go by level 1 ambulance transport to Morgantown. That transport alone is $413 alone. The ambulance gets $5.05 for every mile out and back to the house. And everything is here. I've got a West Virginia fee schedule for ground and air. For a helicopter to turn the key, and I was on a flight service for 8 years. And back in 99, when I was on that flight service, for us to go out to a Bell 412, not even turn the turbines, just to turn the ignition switch on, was $3,000. That was before the turbines turned or the rotors, anything. Just to hit the ignition switch to start them was $3,000 before we ever picked off and went anywhere. Myself, I know I got named helicopter ride, $15,000, 62 miles. So the money is there, but this is all the data that you have to be able to decipher and know every entity, every in and out. And a medical clinic is only as good as the people that are willing to fight for every penny that you're gonna have roll through the office. And basically what I'm getting at is EMS services, if they're credentialed, they're all, probably majority of them are 501c3s. There's a lot of money out there. And it's money that the state will gladly pay EMS services for what you guys are doing, because the majority of the departments in this area, they're all volunteer.
Well, each squad does their own billing. We do not do anything at the county level. 911 doesn't do any of that. Each squad does their own billing.
And there again, that could be a problem. That could be a problem, because the problem you run into, and don't take me wrong, but if you've got one squad that's very efficient on billing, good at billing, understands it inside and out, you've got three components to medical billing. You've got accounts payable, accounts receivable, and then you've got your outstanding AR. And then you've got what we call contractual write-offs. With any insurance carrier you're going to have a contractual write-off. But if your people that are billing are not savvy enough and understand the ins and outs of the insurance, and you've got one department, and I'm just gonna throw them out there, say Short Cap is very, very good at their billing. They've got a biller in there who knows this stuff inside and out. That department is going to make crazy money for the EMS service. They're gonna have top-notch equipment. They're gonna be across the board on everything. You've got another department, say, New Creek. You've got somebody that dibble dabbles at it. They're not proficient with it. Well, that department is gonna suffer because that person doesn't truly understand the ins and outs of all this literature and knowing it. So if you brought it in-house, one group, each department, because like with ours, there's different sides of it, they get billed out differently. By doing that, all of your charges for Short Gap come up, it's in Short Gap's bucket. Everything that comes out of that goes to Short Gap. New Creek's got a bucket, everything that comes out of it, you've got one person that is controlling and chasing the money continually. And anytime in the medical billing world, I used to jump for joy whenever my girls could get a collection rate better than 75%. Our collection rate right now is 89.72%. We went from a major billing company, we had an AR of well over $1 million. There's money owed to us. We're now sitting at a little bit over $8,000. Because between my girl billing and myself chasing the bottom dollar and the money to the nth degree, and I run through doors, I jump through windows, anything I've got to do to get the money that's owed to the practice. Because we are a for-profit facility, non-for-profit. The paperwork alone in a for-profit is one thing, a non-for-profit is you need an accounting team to keep up with in the medical world. So the information is there, but if each individual department is billing their own billing, that can be a good thing or it can be a disaster. But having the appropriate people that know what they're doing, understand it, and hammer it home, those are the people you want for you. You want go-getters, and the big thing is having somebody that is a certified biller and coder, because they're the only ones that are gonna understand this. When I bought the company, I didn't know anything about medical billing. But in the 5 years I've owned the company, my girls have taught me everything I know about medical billing, what I need to know, the different ICD-10s codes, CPT codes that all go along with this information. And the big thing is a lot of people, they think it's insane, but medical billing, a patient will see a bill and they'll say, you charged me $300 for that. Well, there's one caveat with that. You have to in the medical world, because insurance companies will update their fee schedules. They don't tell you. So if your fee schedule is $200 and it's a round number, it's $200. You put down you want $200 for that visit. Well, they increase that number to $250. You're only going to get $200 because that's what you asked for. So that's what they're going to pay you. If they decrease it to $150, it's a denial. Now you've got to reprocess, find out why they denied, reprocess. You have 30 days to reprocess that in order to get paid, and hope that you get paid, because they may deny it again just because they can, which delays you another 30 days. So now you've got a $175 bill. You're 60 days out from being able to get paid for services rendered to a patient. So it's a game of semantics in the billing world. You have to be able to play the game and know the game. And the young lady that works for us that does our billing, I wouldn't take $1 million for her, because she's that good. Okay, but with that being said, one other thing I want to go to. I have asked and asked and asked, and on the night of election, Mr. Whitlock asked my wife and I to write a proposal. The night that you were elected, Joe actually introduced us for the opiate money. And I asked and asked and asked around about how much is in there, what it's been spent on, and everything else. Well, I had somebody gave me the information. Trinity TPM substance abuse facilities received $10,000. Community school bullying, $2,500. Mineral County CASA, $7,500. This is the one that caught me off guard. The rapid response vehicle has already received $125,000. Now, on the 10th when I was here, a gentleman approached up here and asked for another 30 on top of it. So that's 155 if it was approved.
That 30 was part of the 125.
Okay. Well, all right.
And the clarify, that wasn't about the chase car, that was about the buy out for Dr. Turbos to train EMS personnel.
Okay. The other numbers that I got was prosecuting authority, 896187. AHEC 7660. Eastern Regional Family Resources 10,000. Burlington United Family Services 20,000. Creative Living 20,000. West Virginia Extension Office Health Rocks 12,000. Mineral County School Frankfurt Middle School 10,000. 3D Piedmont Church of God vehicle with insurance and supplies 11,870.95. Mineral County Schools Preventative Resource Officer $24,091. TPM Substance Abuse another 20,000. Eastern Regional Family Resources 6,000. Out of all those that I saw on that list, and I asked Joe, has the sheriff's department asked for any monies for Narcan for the officers? I know for a fact that the Narcan that they have predominantly been getting has been coming from my wife and I. Because we order, we write it off on the business, and I give it to Joel for the deputies. Because they are the ones that are on scene before an ambulance ever rolls up on scene. With the stuff that is out there right now and what we're seeing come through our office would scare the majority of people. There is one drug in particular that is 100% legal. You can buy it in any vape shop, and it's called Kratom. The kicker with Kratom is you don't need a prescription to get it. And it is 10 times more addictive. I've got 5 patients in Pennsylvania office that we're working on getting off of it. And they were on crazy, insane amounts of it. I've got 3 patients in this area that we're working on getting off of it. So it's not only what's illegal, it's what's legal. And I'm just here to tell you, cocaine is making a big uprise in this area because we're seeing a lot of it. And it's everywhere. Every entity of every place I've ever lived in, the ERs, the last bad batch of heroin that went through Pittsburgh, I put 17 people in the ground in a 12-hour shift. It was bad everywhere. It's not just here.
You had a question?
No, I didn't have a question. I wanted to speak on the ambulance billing for the county. So every EMS agency in the county, bills through, medical claims assistance out of, Huntington, who is they only handle EMS billing. There are a few things that we can't do, through federal code in, 1997 and then again in 2002. The federal government put acts in place that won't allow us to itemize bill. We can only lump bill or a loading fee and then mileage. And they've adjusted that some. You can look those standards up. I can't. I'm not going to quote federal law because it's hard to understand and sometimes read. But just to say the fact, Mineral County currently all of our EMS agencies bill BLS rate. I'm going to ask Jordan to confirm, but I'm going to be within $50 here on the loading fee, $700 a BLS loading fee and $17 a mile for BLS service and $900 for ALS level 1 emergency, $950 for ALS level 2, depending on the amount of skills and treatment that the paramedic has to do. With that being said, none of us hard bill the citizens. That was an agreement that was passed down through the county commission to the ambulance authority at a request to make sure it didn't happen. The ambulance authority voted to put that forward. So citizens in the county, if you have insurance, your insurance pays whatever it pays based off of those rates. And then there's some notifications sent out, but no hard billing, no collections, no things like that. Now, he did speak about helicopter. I do know that now a scene flight from a private helicopter agency is well over $100,000 to get from here to Morgantown. So that it went way up, and insurance doesn't pay all that. I've sent people by helicopter before, and they've had liens put on their houses after that happened.
That's, you don't, private, just clarify.
Private. Yeah, right. Yeah. So like if Maryland State Police medevac lands and transports a patient, they don't bill. I don't know how they get it. It's something about they operate off of Maryland tax, something tax based there. So I don't understand that yet.
They don't, yeah, I had a ride. They do not.
So we're on point there. And I think just to clarify, I think what I knew that wasn't understood. We receive back about 43 to 50% of what we bill out based off of that, but we bill out at a higher rate than allowable because of the yeah, a lot of times Medicare secondary insurance and things that are there. So we're trying to catch it, but the problem is tax base is, well, the budget you guys have just whittled away to nothing. And there's not a lot of county funding for EMS. There never has been. And that's okay to a point. We all need more money. Everybody does. The commission needs to be able to give the employees of the county a nice raise too, but there's only so many tax dollars. And we are doing a lot of great things in this county for the very little bit of money. And
I will be honest with you, of all the areas I've lived in, the fire departments here have got some of the nicest equipment and rigs.
well, that's a credit to the taxpayers in this county voting to always fund the levy.
The people that are volunteer, my family involved.
Yeah, and that's a direct credit to the taxpayers in this county voting to always fund that levy for fire and EMS. So, but that's just a couple things I wanted to clarify on that.
Thing is, and I'll even tell you this, if there's anything I can do from what I know and understand about billing, if there's anything I can do to help you, let me know.
Okay.
I am more than happy. I won't chase any numbers.
Okay. So that's all I just to clarify a couple
Okay.
things.
Anybody else got anything? Yes, sir.
You mind if I add a little?
No, sure.
Just more for the general public. I know Colby is aware of it. He's been very involved, but the legislature in its closing moments did pass House Bill 5168, which is going to be bringing $12 million to EMS statewide, much like the volunteer fire department legislation from a few years ago. There's a few different buckets and there's some aspects of it. For instance, there's a 30% match, but I don't see that Mineral County's got an issue there. But that is something that's going to be in the FY27 budget there. So there'll be additional funding that you will have to, work with, but will help a little bit in the EMS situation.
My guess, okay, and I'm pretty good with numbers. My guess is it's going to be a good shot in the arm, probably will almost double the amount of funding that I have in the can, which is fantastic. And I want to say, if I can, for 10 seconds, Delegate Hillenbrand and all the legislature that I watched take place down there on live stream had probably floor speech of the year. It was 10 seconds at about 9:30 at night, the night that this bill got passed. He stood up as they were going back and forth about sending it back to the Senate or not. And if it would have went to the Senate, I'm pretty sure the bill would have been lost because there wasn't enough time. And he stood up and he said that I want to say that perfect is the enemy of good enough. And right now we have, he was asserting that both houses had passed this almost unanimously. There was maybe one vote against it in the House the first time, and the Senate passed it unanimously with an amendment that they needed to concur on. And after his saying, hey, look, this may not be exactly what we did, but it's something, and these people in this state really need it. They passed and it moved on. And I told him that should be hanging on his wall somewhere on a sign that says that perfect is the enemy of good enough. And, if we need to whittle at it and work on it in the future, we will, but we have to get it started somewhere. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, and my point was to, for the community at large to have an awareness that, yeah, things are going up in price and stuff like that. But unfortunately, as Chief Simpson said, we were able through the legislature to get something there, which will help. That's all I wanted to add to the conversation.
We've reached the 30% threshold because of the levy.
Correct. It's intended to be
Maybe sort of like a matching.
a little, yeah, it is a matching, that's specific, but it's intended to help incentivize those counties that are not helping themselves.
We actually will be eligible for extra funding in some counties because we have a levy. There's a pot of like $3 million that we're going to be in with other counties that have a levy or a fee that the counties that don't aren't eligible for.
Right.
Okay.
Similar to the fire.
Yes, exactly. It's pretty well set up the same way as the way the firemen are.
And I will note, we talked a little earlier about training for EMS and mental health care and all the rest of it. There was $1 million added on top of that too, for that specific, but it's not permissible use in salaries.
Anyone else?
Yes, sir. I have something I need to put out there.
Yes, sir.
President, just got notification from a captain that State Route 135 between McCool and Western Fort will be completely closed to all traffic, including emergency vehicles from March 31st to April 6th. So we're going to be expecting heavy traffic coming 46 from Piedmont.
Oh, my.
And
When?
March 31st.
March 31st. Also, from April 6th through midsummer, 135 will be a single lane controlled by temporary stoplights in that same area. So,
That's for what, could you repeat that 135 from where?
Western Fort,
Don't you mind the second dates, repeating those again?
sir?
The second dates, would you repeat those?
All right, fast.
Really?
That's why I'm here.
I'm gonna need to amend that termination list. April 6th through midsummer is what we were notified.
Thank you.
Why the rock face? Probably the rock face cross section.
Before that email didn't say.
What I was
It just came out.
But just say, we will be preparing for that, coordinating with the Department of Highway.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joel.
Nobody else, anybody else? If not, we'll go with the administrator's report. I'm sorry.
Covered every base there is.
She's good. Are you good? You're good. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pick you up. I'm not picking on you deliberately. I want you to know that I am not. Okay. You're up.
Let's see, March 10th had a meeting with James Isaac House. The 18th, we were here all day for budget meeting. Also the 18th went to Livestock Association meeting. And then, on March 19th, I went to Philippi, Washington, to meet with World Vision down there. And March 19th, I went to, special ops meeting that everybody forgot about. I had a really good meeting, there was no. Just couldn't get a second, man. And that's all I have. And then yesterday we were here for the budget meeting.
Okay, I went to Region 8 for a Region 8 meeting, PDC, and we had a health department meeting on the city pertaining to some of the issues that they're running in, some of the other things. And I had a meeting with, how do you pronounce her name? Nanetta, through the auditor's office pertaining to the ARPA funding, and everything looks good. She said everything looked good there. I was at the 18th budget work session. I had a Region 8 planning and development meeting also on the 19th. I was at the budget work session on the 23rd, and we had the work session here the 3rd. Now, if I can get the date right, I think, oh, you're here. Okay, good. I want to call upon you. May the 5th is when Region 8 is coming down for their SEDS response. If anybody wants to, it'll be here in the commission room. If anybody wants to make a comment on their SEDS meeting, it don't last long, an hour and a half at the most. And most of the time, nobody shows up. Very few anyway. But it'll be here. What time is that again?
Oh, I believe it's.
I have 10 to 12.
Yeah, that's it.
10 to 12. Yeah, I thought it was. Okay.
Well, it's 10, but I just put the 12 just in case.
Yeah. May the 5th, 10 o'clock.
We also have the public test of the election day equipment that day.
What time's it?
Well, we'll work around this.
Yeah. Okay.
One per cats. This meeting, hurry.
You're
Done? All right, March 12th at the FFA ham bacon and egg sale. And the 18th was here for the budget. 19th, the Mineral County First Committee meeting. Was here for the budget. So one thing I had spent time in communication with Senator Capito's office, Congressman Riley Moore's office, and Senator Justice's office, and the governor's office. We have a little issue at the airport where, going through our construction progress, we so the improvements at the airport and Wally Ford, they're making the main runway longer. To do that, they took the taxiway and make it into a temporary runway. So then the temporary runway in the fall was set up through the FAA. FAA. I keep getting confused, FFA, FAA. So, and everything's happened at the same time. So the FAA for the instrument guidance for landing. And that was set up in the fall. And then we got notice, or our manager got notice about 2 weeks ago that they were going to change it to the temporary runway, change the guidance and the big system, whatever it is. I am not familiar with the terminology at all. I've learned a lot, but I am not familiar with it. But anyway, the problem is the temporary runway is not completely ready. It doesn't have the lettering on it, doesn't have lights on it. So the FAA decided that they were going to make the airport what they call NA, which is basically there is no instrument guidance. There's only sight. Anybody that comes in the lands can only do it by sight. So then you're limited by what your visual is and that kind of thing. And I'm not even gonna put numbers out there because I'm not 100% sure. I've had so many different conversations, but we're trying to get all the senators and congressmen to encourage the FAA to keep it on the main runway right now until we get the temporary runway completely ready. FAA, for whatever reason, decided to push that through. They change this every so often, the system for the landing. And so right now, this will affect the airport in the sense that we won't get nearly as much air traffic. It will reduce our fuel sales. And right now, it doesn't look like it's going to affect the medevac, but that was a concern initially, but we're not 100% sure how well that's going to affect them down the road. But we're trying to get that changed over. But I spent countless hours on the phone, emails, and everything, trying to get everybody involved that I could possibly get involved to help out on the federal level. So I'm just putting that out there. I was kind of hesitant whether to put it out there or not, but I need to put that out there, I guess.
How are they making the runway long? Are they going from diagonal?
Well, you make it like this and that makes room now, just. Yeah, they're making it, they're adding to it. They purchased property and they're filling in and they're adding to it.
Is that
What is the end game there? Are they trying to make the runway long enough that like a small commercial jet that can land there? Is that the plan?
Well, yeah, to
nice.
entertain some larger commercial, but
Yeah.
not even.
Well, no, but I
I'm
mean,
not
like-
talking like 730.
Well, no, I'm like, even what they do in Morgantown, with just that one plane that flies to either DC or Chicago and connects with the rest of the world. That would be fantastic.
That could be a possibility. I'm not saying.
I know you're not saying anything, but if that's what they're doing, I would support anything to do there to make travel easier.
Well, they've gotten grants and all kinds of federal money to do all this work and then now the federal kind of put a hamper on things right now. That's where we're at.
And the hangar rent for airports around, I think, are significantly high, so the airport could, if they are able to build hangars. Out of Ohio, it's like $1 million in rent for hangars. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity there for the airport.
We're working on some money and I think there is a little bit of a plan of an industrial park up there, down the road. So it's kind of the end game and, they're looking for grants for hangars. We actually just got a, airplane mechanic shop They were actually stationed in a small airport down in Virginia. They flew into Cumberland for something, really loved the airport, and they wanted to move their business up here, so we actually did, I think I don't know if that's finalized yet, but we're working on a lease with them. They're actually gonna release the old Kelly hangar. It's down there. So everybody knows that that's Kelly hangar, but anyway, that's where we're over that.
You got anything to add?
Yeah, election. So I drove around this weekend for Camp Cinco. I'm either going to upset the people in the Kaiser Inn or I'm going to upset the people in the Burlington Inn. Last time when we couldn't use Camp Minko, we moved them to Burlington. And actually the location I was looking at on the Kaiser Inn, I was driving around, doesn't look like it's gonna work out. So unfortunately, it looks like we're gonna have to move everybody from Camp Minko to vote Burlington again.
What we're at.
The fire hall, we're already using the fire hall, we're just gonna put 2 precincts in it again. So we already have that location and it's big enough to house 2. I know the people in Camp Minko precinct 1 voters are not gonna be happy with that. And we did have a voter that did his best and sent a notice to the Board of Education 2 years in advance to please, watch the date outdoor school, so it wouldn't interfere with the election, and it still was chosen that the week of outdoor school is the week of the election, even though it's a holiday week, but and then also location for early voting. I'm looking at 2 different locations, but it's not gonna be convenient anyway. We would consider this location here, but there's absolutely no parking here. And that's the issue with the convenience of the voters, accessibility, and.
When is your early voting start?
April 29th through May 9th.
Let me, why don't you see if the new health department.
I have to carry everything back and forth every day.
Yes.
So, no, it's too far.
Probably have a place up early to be locked up with.
No, it has to be here at the courthouse area. Yes, you're totally gonna inconvenience. Me and my staff running back and forth every time there's an issue, it's not gonna work. It has to be within walking
Just a
distance.
suggestion.
Yeah, cause I even considered, I would say anything American Legion, but I was actually even thinking about the American Legion building. Because it's a nice location, plenty of parking, but every time there's an issue, we have to get a little scooter, so I can just go back and forth, so it helped to have it within walking distance. My staff, the issues that occur, and I have, a staff of 4, and we have to cover the office and early voting, and it's just, the closer the better.
Aren't you got a room back here behind?
I have a huge office.
There you go.
Yeah, where I don't.
Well, that's the thing too, one place we were looking at was the circuit clerk's old office space. But you're gonna have 15 to 1700 people in 8 days, going through security, going up the hallway, going down the hallway, down the other hallway, going into the office and hope they don't fall down the steps. And, yeah, so.
And you can't do it here because of the parking.
There's no parking here. There's no parking here.
So where you planning on, you don't know yet?
Well, I haven't talked to the property owner, so I can't really say yet. But I've been looking at a location that's pretty close. I should
What
have
about
already
the office
called.
that's across from our office, that room? Cause I know some of the machines are in there, wouldn't it be easier just to move some of those machines out, set up a couple,
Oh, we have to keep the machines secured though, too. Cause that was
Can we
one
put
thought.
machines back in the shed where they were?
for a day?
Well, I'm not just for a day, it's the whole time. And that's the thing, we're testing the machines and it was there's a lot of other stuff in there with, all of the election materials are in that room too. So they would all have to be hauled back out.
If we talk to the city about blocking off meters, or it's just for the early election.
The whole street for voting.
Yeah, seriously, or their parking lot right over here. We can open it up.
I don't know if they'll. But then you have a lot of people crossing, a lot more traffic. There's a lot to consider, and the Secretary of State's office was asking me to confirm my early voting location, and I said, funny thing, I don't know where we're going to go. So, but once we do, all the sample, or the ballots are to be delivered Friday.
And sample ballots should be available, if the ballots come Friday, sample ballots will be available the first part of the week. We will get that newspaper with the location and dates of early voting as well. That's all I think I have on election.
Okay, if there's nothing else, then I reckon we move down. We need to go back and look at the minutes. Any of you read the minutes? About that, I've looked at them.
But they just need to. Yeah.
No, I don't think they've ever signed it in the past. I just gave it to them for
Thank you, guys.
There is no social majority.
I just gave you a copy for them. But then,
Again, you got kind of.
Thanks for.
Well, kind of a fun issue, but.
Coming out.
Very new.
That's all fine between the
And
law.
there's got people running through their building.
No.
It's nice to have the room and everything.
I would recommend it. I don't think.
I can like one of the.
I don't know if you can keep everybody out. I think more likely, and then just like, we'll go back one by one and go back over and vote.
There's only about.
There's not much. You can see that? Was there not a break?
I was thinking there's not, I was thinking now, because it is off here, but US minors and US Senate need those. So that's their rates on that. The local rates are not, and we just have Board of Ed.
I feel like I have to listen to this.
Sorry.
Thanks, that's non-important.
8:30 through 4:30, Monday through Friday, on Saturday 9 to 5. That's the thing we're open on Saturdays.
What are you doing there for Sunday?
Previous.
This is.
2 hours, 3 hours can be very.
You don't have message, something for words.
I really can't tell you.
No, I would wonder.
The second floor is a clerk's office, that space might possibly work, but if anybody wants through court security, and you can't turn away a voter. So, you know, so that's an issue there.
That's the issue.
I make a motion to approve the minute from March 10th. The other day, 18th or Monday, we got that. 18th and the 23rd. I'll second the motion.
If you use, if you use that room, what is on the first office? Yes, I put it there.
As long as they don't do fast.
Yeah. Point board.
Handicap around the elevator.
Not worried about it.
I think because it is out here. We did it in the shed, this shed's over here, it's a nightmare, but I think it was an off year. It was an off year. I heard places, but it was outdoor shed, too hot and cold.
Could you put your machines back in the sheds and then use the room across from us for your voting season?
Well, the problem is we had the flood in there, so there's mold in the shed, and all the stuff was put in the.
If we have to go to the Legion or something, are you gonna have to make a donation to a facility
Well, I'm not
to
going to,
take it somewhere else?
I'm not going to the Legion, that's too far, but they've actually.
Well, I mean, they're utilizing a facility, I'm just saying, you can go back to the shed where they've been forever, however many years.
can utilize that nice facility, if maybe the taxpayers would be like, wow, this is a nice building. You know what I mean? And you're right there.
I
I trust me, I put a lot of money in this. The room itself is smaller than I planned. I mean, there's dirt.
Please don't know what's wrong with it.
Yeah, I'll let him know. I haven't.
He's trying to get a hold of him, but
He,
I sent him the key.
well, I've been trying to get a hold of him too.
So.
I don't know if he's working now. I don't know. I know he's got some problems.
And I know.
Might be back working on the cabin.
Well, when I'm doing myself and then I.
Yeah, there's like signing bills now.
So I'll also sell it to him.
Thinking about if we sign the bill, right? It's just.
Stand.
I'll get for that.
Get installed. And then I move it to. Get paid. Thank you. You want to call it?
Yeah, I'll tell him. I don't know,
Every day
you don't know
doors down.
what I was gonna tell you, you know, I don't know.
Well, that's a possibility. I think when I was walking around the steps and you go through and you get down the hallway, the door.
George gave him.
All right.
Hold on, that's. It's just.
I just think you put a sign there, 50% of my kicking they right now.
You can work.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, and believe me, a lot of times that you get into this stuff, and they won't pay because of corporation benefits issues.
Well, we can use a fretboard and that.
These trash companies, I don't have big fans and stuff.
Done the lap thing and everything.
It's annoying trying
From Newport to December, I set with probably 90% of all of our commercial insurance agents, and I help them pick their insurance plans.
If we
To
do
help them
that.
out, so that they don't end up with garbage for insurance. Oh, I got insurance, yeah, but it doesn't cover that.
Well, and the thing of it is, I don't use it. Very seldom I use it. My wife.
Yeah, because we, on Saturdays, we only know how we're supposed to buy.
Well, it's like me, I pay $800 a month for medical insurance.
You pay that much out of your pocket?
Sure.
All right, thank you.
Medical.
That's what
I'm a diabetic. We've got a $1,500 deductible. I get my deductible in January whenever I go to the pharmacy and get medication. And I know that I'm gonna have money in my savings account because the first time I walk in for a part of the machine,
I'll read.
that's what the bill is gonna be. So it's usually the first or second trip to the pharmacy, my deductible.
It's an electronic anyway.
Yeah, you sent electronic.
I know
There's a link there.
She was talking about, she told me something. It was
Whoever is going to receive it, you know, send us something to be better than they are to receive it.
Do this insurance, we can get billed to, emergency, they will send them the place. Send the bills with it.
But I
You get a
am,
reimbursement or something.
I'm working pretty fast right now and I didn't get, I didn't want to tell you. Yeah.
And we're there, there's probably need to go find those two.
Not thousand.
It only, only the end of the year. The medical billing, I think.
And
Like,
it's bill.
Well, this one insurance, we had $100,000 patient that came in. He said, this is. And this is that. So.
I know, but I mean.
I said, I'm gonna-
But if you want to get these 2 weeks of vacation,
You can likely visit, and I said, hey, I said,
my phone, that guy, we had. Yeah, I'll be on then. We're starting to get crazy.
I got our own insurance carrier, and I said, I want to be this one instead of dealing with because the money is coming to me, but it's probably gonna be 2 to 3 weeks before I see how I said, and I know you're out there, so.
This is the thing.
I don't look.
And I did,
This younger generation.
I read it and I wanted a chance to read the bill before I responded and I haven't had a chance to read
And I told her, I waited for her to talk to me the whole life. And because she said it's, medicine is not what it was when I was.
It was cheaper. So I didn't have insurance. So I paid them. I did a Medishare type deal, sharing with people. So it's about $900 a month.
You're right, we do.
But you pay cash.
That's
You pay
not the
cash
problem at all.
than it is for me to pay the copay. The copay is like.
My granddaughter works now.
Working for.
And she said they started to get some dumb stuff. There was one the other day.
Well.
Wanted to know what a
I
third
can
course.
all the way around.
Could she go for?
No.
I'd have told her to go to CVS, she's coming about one.
No.
I mean, she said, no.
Patients who come in, they're all afraid, because they don't wanna buy one like this. And I looked down and saw it, I said, yeah, I'm not ready to see us. We're gonna to be able to have them in the office. I said, you can't spend $3 and go get a pharmacy test. I said, you'll find out.
You'll find out less than that, John.
Was in our.
But you know, one of the nurses.
What?
One, I'm sorry.
The only time I mentioned it was just in our.
Yeah.
The vaginal. Swab or something. She ordered. It's getting bad.
If is there, stuff when I was at UPMC and the students that we were getting coming out, and it was very simple in the ER. I was the approaching nurse that doesn't want to work with because it was one way. The patient is here for a reason. I'm not here to deal with warm and fuzzies. Warm and fuzzies get me blue patients, really tend to have issues with having blue patients, because that means they're dead.
Yeah.
And I would ask, when they would come in and I'd be sitting there drinking my coffee and going around and say, what did you know? It's insane.
It is getting ridiculous. Well, anyway, it's good seeing you. I gotta get these bills signed.
Oh, I know.
Good seeing you.
Yeah, well, wait,
Be safe. You too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, cause I emailed her. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's a blue pen. This is,
Yep.
Tara's community correction grant application.
Yep.
Roger, this is Tara's community corrections grant application. There's your signature there and there's back there on the back.
Appreciate it. Yeah. We probably got to put it on the agenda then.
No, it's under the community correction.
Okay.
And that MOU is part of it.
Thank you very much.
I thought it was an MOU for the. That's a resolution and then. There must have been, get that back there.
Yeah, did you see the name?
It should be. It's probably said non-tax. I mean, that is a question. I can't remember. For some reason, I was thinking there is something that we pay for. For some reason, I'm thinking that was the lowest thing.
What's that?
That's the land, not the employees. Yeah. And because they equals foods, everything there, and they do the end of that. You know that? I think they know that I still have that information in that. Because I've been cleaning out my stuff, I'm like, if I'm not gonna say it. No. Personal property, that's personal property.
Yeah, that was always pretty much.
Unless it's.
Took that down because of.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
They had it built, we were never using
Yeah.
it. Yeah, we were never using a lot of stuff that they were bringing us for.
I started with they had the first things on the bill, but when the new ones came, I think it was for the vehicles and they were waiting for them to get installed.
That's just the something. The crazy
The
one.
hot point, the hot spots and the cradle
Yeah,
points when they
that-
initially had them.
But they had hotspots. They had, I don't know, like 30-some hotspots initially on the bill,
Yeah.
and they were never being used.
Well, yeah, they weren't first, but then they were waiting for the other stuff to be installed in vehicles, so for a while we were paying for both because the ones weren't in use yet.
The hotspots weren't being used at all. The cradle points run off of, kind of like its own cellular data. So we didn't need the hotspots for the cradle points there.
This still has cradle points and hot spots and cell phone.
But there's not as many hotspots on there as there used to be, like 30-some.
Yeah. But
I think there was one set free.
they were carried over because the vehicle locators, while they weren't installed yet, we were having to pay for both things.
There was a lot of them, yeah, like they had, even, I don't even think we requested, they just put it on the bill. But Roger, he dealt with that, got it down, so that's good.
I never opened.
But that's been like that for, how long we had AT&T? Even before that, I think it was like that even the USA, because I think it was. They basically drafted it off of old bills.
They just watched when it was FirstNet, because then FirstNet offered.
Yeah.
If I may borrow a hotspot again for early voting, because if I'm in the courthouse, it's Supreme Court and I cannot touch any of their data. And that's why I was like, well, what am I gonna do? I don't even have an internet. And then I thought, well, use the hotspot Roger set me up when we were outside in the shed. And we actually have to use it downstairs. Because it's only one of the factors. It's the voter registration. The county machines are hooked in. They're not, no internet source.
It's just a computer over there.
Right. That's up to those.
Well, I can make sure things are all right now, then I'm very smart.
I love to know when there's all kind of things. How much do you got for? Well, I'm guessing a lot. That was a little bit on stuff.
It's some zero, man, the people that's on this, the people that's on this.
I have had to.
You can get that stuff, that we talked about.
He just afraid of us.
Zero sugar cracky.
Okay. Give me one chance to see what I've got. That's what. I take it off my phone. I can get. 20 ounce of chew.
They came to the, people want to talk about around the beach, the stuff we can then eat, we didn't approve it. $13 billion, and they're for profit, so that.
So I was gonna try to wait till you got. And I was gonna start asking. I was like, can you get the order?
Yeah.
Candace, do you have payout 24? Do you have that forever?
I just get it in there.
That's why I was saying that. Yeah, that's not true.
So he
Have you
probably
signed
get,
payout
he probably
24
get
yet
food
for the health
programs,
department?
but I know they prefer it.
I haven't signed that. I'll get it here in a minute.
That was not.
Been citing
And then there's.
internet access, so.
And there's village. That's the whole thing about too.
You won't,
Discussion.
I gotta figure out why.
Arcan,
I don't know what happened, but I had to get hardwired to have it.
needle boxes. If I be there. Because.
I
need that, but can you pull the email from the? Each part needed signed. And.
This is mostly,
Okay.
I'm having a hard time with just accessing anything.
You wanna use my phone as
Well, I got it.
well?
I do, but mine isn't strong enough sometimes, it's my work phone, so I like, don't, it's 1 and 4. Pages 1 and 4.
What are you talking about, the EMS building, I mean, it carries, each department does it.
Oh, yeah.
They have a third party. that does it, so.
And then I can send it, I'll take it and send it to them.
Yeah.
Did you have cars on Mickey County?
Or who what?
Because we're on the same.
Yeah, the deer hit.
We're on the same.
You had three deer, did you have three?
But they're not out there now.
No, I didn't say that, the building.
I saw,
I think there was only two.
There's three.
it's in the file that I just gave out.
They had three country there.
There's two here. There's another one if you could.
I seen three.
Okay.
There's two here. I seen three and another one. There's another one someplace. I thought he was anyway, maybe I'm.
But I think,
Man, one of them one's got plowed pretty good, $5,000.
Something.
we got three, we got, I mean, that was just our deductible. We paid the deductibles and I think we got the insurance. Yeah.
I mean, if I could.
Pretty sure.
This one is there.
Oh, this, Ben's, both of them are saying.
Both of them are blue. Are they the same wreck then, or?
Just a question, because I don't know. Has the, emergency management, the director, that role, have never had to take home vehicle, or has it always been part of it?
Well,
The 911.
it's, he took it home some, I'll say that. I don't know if he did every day.
Can I just say my 2 cents?
I'm just asking because of the offer letter, I wanna make sure, because I used the language from my offer letter, which just says as needed within the county, because I don't think it anywhere really.
He didn't even live. Dude, 2 to 3 miles from one side.
Okay.
Jordan? Oh, look.
I don't know where Jordan lives, I have no idea. where he lives.
Jordan lives Farmington.
Oh, see,
Well, yeah,
I don't know. That's what it's,
Dry Run.
I mean, I don't wanna say.
Drive on,
Yeah.
okay, is that where he lives?
Yes, yeah.
Well, it's a fringe benefit, yes. He has to keep track of mileage.
So,
If it is.
here's my thing, Lou. We had Tower, the Pinnacle Tower, we sent last week with lightning.
Yeah.
And that created an issue, so he's gotta drive from there. Out to get it there.
Not the Verizon one, but I just did all that work with the MRT one.
Patterson
Okay,
Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patterson, not Pinnacle, but Patterson Creek.
I was gonna say Pinnacle, we could have.
They both start from me.
I think there is, the term I'm looking for. But I think there is an allowance for OEM director to have a vehicle, county vehicle involved with them. Because of emergencies, they have to be available.
We have covered this in trainings numerous times.
I know we've covered this, well, I know this has been covered in trainings, but I remember something about OEM director
Well, they're
being
not-
part of it, just like officers.
They are not law enforcement officers, they're not certified, and that was the stipulation, because we questioned it, because we were told before, if the vehicle is altered, if it has lights and markings, then we thought it was acceptable, and they said no, because they're not taken home, that they're not certified officers. But we always thought if they were clearly marked and altered with lights, but we were told otherwise.
I'll check on that.
Yeah, because we were, we were told.
As far as the offer letter and the use of it, it's 7 days. So it's not, I need to update it, because all I did was use the old language from my offer letter.
But in the fact that he does, it's just, he's gonna have to keep track of the mileage every week and then turn it in, and we have to just do it as a fringe benefit.
You're clumsy. Yeah.
But that's not in the insurance.
No, but you got it, sure.
That's today, that's not your fault. I was not worried about it.
That law enforcement is, that's like that.
Safety.
Now, if, I'm sorry, if you would have adopted that off duty, they would have had to keep those off duty. That person, those would be a fringe benefit.
I don't know how the city takes theirs clear out of town. I don't understand.
So important. I know we have.
Well, law enforcement's the exception.
Where's the academic?
That's the exception.
Because we have a commuting policy in our.
Of course, if they run them, the thing of it is, the city frees, so, yeah, They don't get a run over.
I'm sorry.
They need money.
That's what like, their car should probably be worse than ours. Actually, that's why a lot of that stuff, that you see, they don't go by mileage, they go by the hours.
Yeah.
That formula.
And I understand why my stands at that point, but I didn't know if they was kind of surprised me they was allowed to do it now. I think it's a good thing. Yeah.
Like the book, January stats in.
How many you get? Sorry.
The current payroll I'm working on.
How many crews you plan on getting?
Yeah, good supplies. I won't go spend all way any time. What? You know, it's on. You paying for them yourself?
Lauren will pay for two.
Okay, well,
See you guys. You
see
good?
ya.
I'm gonna go. See, I'm doing our turn.
The sheriff. We're told today, the
So the quarterly contributions are going out, I have to send with a letter explaining what we expect with from them in the future.
We also put the, you don't need it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Okay, this one. Jason didn't see that one. Roger didn't sign that one.
There's nothing in it. Funny.
It's a it's a quarterly contribution.
What did you yesterday?
I had one that I was waiting on results. but-
Same like that.
Came on the office and do thirty things truck weight, pick up the grant for the floor and. If you were next to the Sunday.
Yeah, I got some sleep and I must have feeling like this. Overwhelmed, but. That's a good service.
All one day, good, letter, the address that I want to.
Yeah, 150 Oxford Street is the courthouse in the county government,
Primary.
because we're not changing.
Yeah, New Creek,
the
they're all in
location
the
of county government.
Okay.
Yeah, they have
You know how many
a daddy
addresses
daughter.
and places that
And
office,
his kids are.
all federal grants,
Jake
all
and
federal.
So I guess, does the mailman just,
I did.
does he separate it then, or does?
That's, no, the big issue that they said we had change your address. And we're not changing your address, we're gonna have the mail delivered to the courthouse, and then we have like a mail room mentioned. And then we just,
It's all
sorted out.
I guess the 80s, but it's on the Stranger Things. Well, it's like something like, he's given us 6 years old.
Wow.
And they go all the checks that.
Yeah.
Towns, then all the federal grants, all the federal stuff at the state courthouse is listed as 150 Armstrong.
I know.
County Executive,
Yeah. So I like I say, I haven't listened to Gregory.
Like, we're music, yeah.
I've only listened to Christian or worship songs since. Gosh, 1987. So, yeah, when my Megan went to keep me with playing on money, they're like, hey, what do you want to listen to? She's like, how long is it here? I was like, no, my dad was not listening. I got no clue what's out there as far as.
Yeah.
They made farms, they made farms.
Yes.
Not quite as like. Baby came out. I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, it's because
I don't know, I just.
There's stuff I don't like there's certain like, when I read, especially when I'm I pretty much, I don't care. How our city.
Roll her over.
I do like, yeah, order. No, I'm just saying, I don't like it, and then the way, like the order. But I don't like anything. I can't stand, but I like,
Well, shoot, but I mean.
I like pretty much any music, but I like to listen to.
Yeah.
But I like a lot of praise and worship songs, but I noticed, I tried some of them.
Yeah. Here's the, John Ray, he actually states. That's like, well, I was at, that's law school.
I knew.
And I didn't notice. So I'm like,
In our, my young lady, really following. Tracy, she was out somewhere.
Yeah, and after, and they would both.
Struggling and every day for policy, you know.
well, I like it.
So, every now and then we'll be out, but we'll be here playing.
Yeah. Genesis,
Yeah, that's good.
but I do so much music, I've always liked it.
But that was suggestion though, is to not put it in the full five.
Just to them, and I have knowledge, because I know a lot about different music, one of my favorite things.
And I will find me the role in my figure. I saw his, like, they did an 8th grade and they separated.
Yeah, Dickie did, yeah, I thought he was something. Even, I didn't go, but you know what, I watched it, and it was like,
Yeah.
Well, his nickname at school is less than you. So we go to the.
Yeah.
Totally fine with that.
Dick and I, we can flip it. Like I pull fire. And then we always got a couple others. Always slide them in there.
They're about 3/4.
That's the Bible.
Yeah.
They're only on Saturday and Sunday.
Good one.
There's everybody.
They're only on Saturday and Sunday.
The kids, I think, I
It's a lot.
don't know what it was. It was something.
Each day, it's 128 or 140 hours or something.
When I listened, I was like,
Every,
this
so tired
is
weekend.
fire.
A lot.
Yeah. And then now they like slip it in and play it. But I like the fact that the kids do, because a lot of
That was
them.
many years ago. So using WVU, the state gives WVU fire extension service, a lot of free money, classes free.
There's
For everything. It doesn't cost the same money if you WVU, you feel they run all free money every year. And like, so we're gonna be firefighter too, but they're not sure depending on how many students we have, and like setting up their hotel rooms and stuff, and instructors, if they have enough funds until the budget rolls over at the beginning of this year. So we may have to start firefighter two after July 1st.
It's group.
I mean, I got all that. So firefighter
You
one,
can hold it and give them.
remember what year it was?
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, then the second floor of the guys, fire department. So when I took firefighter one, 40-hour class, that's $100.
You give them.
Yeah, I think it was only, cause we went over there in the weekend evening, and when I took, EMT, basically it was 90 hours, now it's like 120. It's, I mean, I've had to take all that,
Well,
like, over the years, you know.
Yeah. Well, take it.
Basically doing other stuff.
With Robbie's great, some kids.
It's not easy.
Like, they got together, they've only got together once.
I know, there was, I'm borderline right now. Have
All the time.
everything filled out with,
Trying to get
application
things
to
when
Garrett,
they get the
Garrett.
There's always.
First of all, it's be 2 years, 2 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday nights, from 6 to 10. And then, you know, I have to call it weekend, except making sure.
If I was very fresh. You prefer to sleep before you give it the time.
I just don't know how.
Yeah. Before.
Yeah.
Takes a lot.
So,
Yeah.
he likes it, I think he came back, he just told me one night, he said, I'd like to do this, I said, you should.
There was it? Jake, you either?
He was.
I don't know, I think I think they were a farmer, don't tell or
First night.
What did happen to it?
I have a little charge on my fire.
I went to Wednesday night to help out. And I just kind of like. But they would always come over and want to talk. Some of the kids out in the school would come over. The loner.
Very
And then the one kid that. Very,
I
very.
think I saw a video of him riding in the back of that. Parking lot.
Well, why don't you come see it in your state? Because they- so I was, the. There's just a memory that I ever had. I was there, but they come in and got trash food and. Ice cream and everything. And that night, because they would come in and hang out.
I will make a motion to approve the accounts payable and the. What was the other one?
Purchase orders.
Purchase orders, that's it.
Oh, okay.
I second that.
Make a motion to approve the estates
I second that.
And exoneration.
and make a motion to approve the exoneration.
I second that.
And I make a motion we adjourn.
I second that.
We